Yes. Again, I don't think I have done this since we started. I need to big up my boy, DJ Temper. For a hot soundtrack for our intro.
Come on.
Love you, boy. And I will see you soon. And August 6th, isn't it? Man's playing in the garden.
You and this
thing,
August thing, man. Just let it go.
Peak summer, bro. It's peak.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's summer garden party. Tickets go out May. But hey, check the socials, innit?
And it's gonna be a roadblock.
The business at the business. THEBIZZNEZ. 2 Z's in the middle, 1 Z at the end. Don't get it wrong. Look. We're back again on the table again. We still got goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Instagram at goodness_.
Omar _.
He's finished it up for me. Thank you guys. Just had a blank moment there.
Okay.
A couple of things we want to discuss about. We have a few things to touch on, but I'm going to start first with it's been in the news lately. So I don't know when this pod's going to come out, but it's still going to be relevant back then. I want to get everyone's on the table that they take on it. Refugees going to Rwanda.
Wow.
By Mr. I have my take, but I want to get your take first on it by Mr. Boris and the Conservative government. I'll start with ladies first. We've heard about it, obviously.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't kind of looked too much into it, but I've seen the news and kind of know a little bit. My personal opinion is I don't think it's really going to put a dent in the actual overall crisis because they've said what is going to house this place that they're sending them houses 100 refugees, and there's, I don't want to quote figures, but there's thousands and thousands and thousands coming. So I suppose I'm just questioning what's the purpose in 100. I know they want to make a point like don't come over, you could be potentially shipped 4,000 miles away and never go home. But I don't really see the amount of money it's costing and everything I don't see really the gains that are going to come from it. If it was on a bigger scale and they had maybe multiple complexes they can put people in, maybe it would be more of a positive. But I just no.
So the distance thing's not a problem if there's enough to accommodate everyone.
I think it's wrong anyway to ship people 4,000 miles away. I mean, these people are obviously in crisis. You get the ones that are coming over anyway, but there are ones that are in severe crisis. To ship them then the other side of the world. No, I don't agree. I don't agree with it.
Omar?
Where do I start with this? Look, so you're telling me that people are fleeing from war-torn countries,
Persecution,
for one, for maybe being, gay or, for even being a woman, let alone a war-torn country or for what you think. And then you get to somewhere where you think is a safe haven and that place is sending you 4,000 miles away. When accepting other demographics that are fleeing the same situation, and you're accepting that, and even with that, it's a debacle. There's so many people that are fleeing wars all over the world.
Yep.
You're allowing a certain demographic to come through, and the other demographic can't come through.
Okay, for the interest of balance, they will turn around and say, well, this lot that we want to ship over 4,000 miles away came through illegal channels. What would you say to that?
Coming through, that they've got no choice. If those channels that they have to come through were made legal, I'm sure that they will take that route. For someone to take their, and it's not just the way that the media are portraying it in my eyes, that it's just able-bodied men that are coming over the channel on rafts, because I've seen women with their children. Children have actually lost their lives through coming across the channel. So for me, it smacks all types of wrong.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And again, I'm always one of those guys that want to look at those underlying issues. You know, if we weren't going around the world and causing these situations, i.e. these conflicts all over the world, people would quite happily stay in their own country. Yeah, if there were no conflict that they're running away from, why would you want to come to somewhere that hasn't got that much of a great climate? Yeah, bills are going through the roof. You work all your life, you work all the hours God sends, and you don't see no return. Trust me, England is not a place that is paved with gold.
It's not.
It's not paved with gold, you know. And for you to make a life-threatening journey, that must mean that where you're at right now,
it's not conducive.
Desperation, isn't it?
It's
exactly.
Desperation.
Yeah.
And then for you to come here and then be sent to a country where, you know, their human rights track record isn't that great, you know, smacks of hypocrisy to me.
Yeah.
To be fair. And it's just a policy that the government have put out that I don't understand.
I think I do.
I don't.
I'll get to mine in a minute.
There we go.
Luke, because Luke was the one who actually sent me the screenshot a couple of days ago in the morning, innit? About it. What's your take?
Well, I haven't read really, like Tess, I don't really watch the news or anything.
Yeah.
Try to avoid it. So I don't really know much about the whole topic. But yeah, it screams wrong. Like I said to you before, it's the Ukraine thing. It's the white European.
Yeah.
They're seen as okay because
they look like us.
they look like
Me. Yeah.
they look like a classic British white man. But as soon as it's someone else from another country that we've probably gone in and bloody blown up anyway.
Yeah. Supplied arms too.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden, these are the bad guys. And it just doesn't make any sense. Russia starts something, we take all their, you know, the Ukrainians. Yeah. But when we start something in another country, Syria, we're not interested.
Exactly.
It's double standards. It's
hypocrisy. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me either, personally.
Yeah.
But
They've even said, haven't they? It's more of a threat to just, so they're putting it out there. If you come here, we're going to actually ship you. You'll never be able to come back.
Yeah, because they say we don't want to be seen as a soft touch. For me, it's all politics. For me, it's a smoke screen. It's very convenient. It's playing on people's fears. It's no coincidence that, I mean, first of all, I don't think, because it's already got into Parliament, it failed.
Yeah, it's not going to fly.
I don't think it's going to fly. But they put it out there, and this is where the smokescreen bit comes in. They put it out there because obviously the Ukraine, which rightfully so dominated the news cycle, it's kind of dying down a bit, just like COVID. And now we're back to concentrating on Boris and Partygate. Yeah. Man's done a criminal offence. He might not call it criminal. That's another story. Well, we chat about that in a minute. He's been fined. And that's when we started dominating the news again. And all of a sudden,
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. You know, that's not, I mean, that's they know it's going to fail, but they just put that so that can dominate the news cycle and get heat of Boris and the whole £50 fine. And like Omar said as well, nobody wants to leave their home. No, it's like, it's your home, it's your comfort zone, your family.
You've got doctors, architects, lawyers, proper professionals that are uprooting their whole family. You know, they've had jobs and careers wherever they are, and a conflict breaks out in their country, and you know, obviously you want to go to a safe haven.
Especially when you got kids as well. Like I know as a mum, I'd do anything to protect my babies.
Exactly.
You know,
as a father,
travel
I'd do the
across
same
seas
thing.
with your child. Some of them are babies, and risk your life. You've got to be pretty desperate.
Yeah. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to travel across the Mediterranean desert and everything. And because say for example, it's never happened from what I know. Say you have, say 20 people in a truck for 5, packed in. I go across the desert through Morocco, whatever, Libya to try and get into Spain or Italy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. By the time they actually end up there, it's not 20 anymore. People have died en route. nobody in their right mind would risk that, but it's a risk people are willing to take.
It's quite a high risk.
It's
as
a
well.
very,
It's
a risk people are willing to take because they see that the situation that they are in now is not conducive for their family. There've been situations where people have left, where maybe a mom or dad has been lucky to go cross over to the other side, left family and kids at home, and maybe 20 years later the kids join them. It's.
And what upsets me about this as well, even though, as you said, it's the news is to deflect from the current situation. Yeah, it's also the scaremongering.
Oh, obviously,
definitely
that they want to perpetuate.
They're very, very good at that. The media
on the British nation. Do you know what I mean?
It's somebody has to be blamed for something. So if you're not living right, if you're struggling with your finances because the cost of living has gone up, we have to blame somebody for that. Yeah. And it's okay. Let's scapegoat these people. People without the voice.
Not the government that are in power that are responsible for
exactly.
We'll point the finger, go, you lot. You're going to be the ones to blame for that. You're going to be the ones that we're going to slap on the headlines, and we're going to scare the people into thinking that all these people that are coming over are going to take our jobs. They're financial immigrants. They're going to sponge off society. When statistics show that the majority of people that come over,
they're not on benefits.
They're not on benefits. They're hard-working. They want to find their own way. They want to establish themselves. And they also have children in this country that go on to do better things, become lawyers, doctors,
because they're grateful to be here. Why wouldn't you want to have people who are grateful for being here? They contribute more to society. People that know me well, I've always been against borders. I think borders cause problems, creates chaos, blah, 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 blah. But that's another different story. Another podcast. Don't get me on my soapbox, bro. It's deep. But the thing, it's at the same time as well, it's like, where's the empathy? But for me, I personally think the majority of the British public are very sympathetic to people who are not as good as them. Absolutely. But at the same time, when they listen to those in power, who spin this politics and all that, and they kind of get swayed from that. Yeah.
I think the older generation a lot think. I won't say names, but someone close to me has even said, "Oh, well, I would have got a doctor's appointment if all these immigrants weren't here, taking up all our appointments and NHS services." And you think, I don't know, I think they're more impressionable, especially with the media. Like my dad literally, sorry Dad, if you're watching, but he'll just take as fact everything the media is showing. And they only show you what they want.
The Times never lies.
Exactly. But I think
people people will want to blame immigrants and stuff like that for not getting appointments and jobs and blah 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 blah. But it's the incompetence of our own government that's put us in that position. To be fair. There are certain jobs that and I hate the word that so-called immigrants would do that people that were born and bred here won't do.
Yeah, I'm still looking for an English cockle picker. I've never found one.
That's right. The fruits.
I'm still looking for No Spray No Lay, who's from Norwich. Never found one. And that's a job. That's a need. You need to basically get into a loo, wash your hands, and get sprayed up and go do your thing.
I know a guy that I met through No Spray No Lay that is a very successful entrepreneur right now.
We know who he is.
We know
he owns a restaurant, right? Yeah, exactly. That's where he started out.
A very, very successful entrepreneur. Big up Native. I'm coming for my free food, Prince. We're all coming for our free food. Yeah, beef or Prince. We're coming for free food. But so all this scaremongering that they give us is just a load of BS. To be fair.
Yeah.
And that's
why I don't watch the news anymore. Like I used to literally watch, especially like during COVID, and then I noticed as soon as I switched it off, like
have a better life.
You just have a better life.
You know what? To be fair, I do watch the news, but I don't watch what they're saying.
Yeah.
I watch what they're not saying.
I just watch it going bullshit.
Yeah, the underlying meaning. I always, and someone told me when I was very young, always read between the lines.
Yeah.
I like keeping up with world events, like what's going on, just get base, but it's easy to like sit and just get obsessed with like what's going on in the world, and it is depressing.
And it will distract you.
Yeah, that's it's all distracting,
from your own life, you know, for the stuff that you should be doing for you and your family.
And your well-being as well.
And your well-being, because it all starts with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're your own world, and it starts with you. So, and then you pass that down or influence people that are around you. You know, and that's how I see it. But this, when I heard the news about sending people back to Rwanda, it took me back to the 70s when Margaret Thatcher, late 70s, early 80s, when Margaret Thatcher and her government were on this repatriation rubbish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so, these things come up. I don't think it's got legs. I don't think
I was going to say it won't get
but
past. There's no way.
I'll be shocked.
I would be shocked.
The fact that our Home Secretary, Priti Patel, was running around the world going, right, we're going to send all our refugees or our illegal refugees and dump them on you without any provisions. So, okay, these refugees that are fleeing persecution and fleeing all types of atrocities, okay, right, you send them back to Rwanda, then what?
No, not send them back, because they're from there. They send them to Rwanda.
Send them to Rwanda, and then what?
It's a one-way. They clearly said as well. It's a one-way ticket.
It's a one-way ticket.
It's
what?
It's going to stop. It's going to stop trafficking. Mate, trafficking is never going to stop. I don't condone it, but they always look for a way. It's not. It's not the solution.
Trafficking, but what are you doing to this country? You're sending all these people back. What are they going to do? Just like they're going to sponge off of this country?
Yeah. We are literally, in terms of like a loads of jobs, we're actually understaffed at the moment.
At the moment, that's right.
I think 100,000 less police officers for a start. Let's not even go with NHS staffing, care home staffing. So it's like, dude, it's. But again, it's a vote grabber.
There's a labour force here that you could take advantage of. Yeah. And this labour force will also help build the economy and build society.
Because we are an aging country.
Yeah.
Because people are living longer. The longer people live, the more care staff you need because they're living longer. All right. So we have more old people, things like baby boomers kind of thing. So we have to try and get younger people in who can come and do the job.
I think it's a headline grabber.
Of course it is. It's just a mad deflection of.
New York calls up for like, do you know what I mean? They just put out exactly what they want.
Yeah, they know.
What you to see, what they want to cause hype on and to deflect. You know.
Yeah. You've got Richie Sunak and Boris Johnson. You know, let's look at the big picture here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are the first sitting prime minister to break the law.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, ever.
That's serious.
Yeah. And they're trying to basically make it sound like it's not serious.
That's very serious because, you know, that's part of your ministerial code.
Mm-hmm.
You should have stood down a long time ago.
Ukraine saved his ass.
Of course. You know, and that's unfortunate. That a war where people are suffering, you're using that as a smokescreen to stay in power.
Yeah,
totally.
It's 100. I'm obviously I'm not a member of the Tory party. People know that. But at the same time, there are decent people who belong to the party. There are decent MPs from the Tory party. This is the time for them to literally step up and say, you know what, you are not good for our brand. Everything's about branding now.
Yeah, that's right.
You are not good for our brand.
No confidence.
They have to. Who would replace though? Like you might potentially get someone even worse. You know?
Some people are saying that you're better the devil you know, but a principle is a principle.
Yeah,
you can't.
The fact that he's broken the law, he needs to step down.
And he lied.
Yeah,
you remember he lied when the whole thing first came out. He lied, and it's.
What really got to me more than anything out of that is to think that people were dying through iPad screens.
Yeah.
Like people weren't allowed to be. My own friend wasn't allowed to see her newborn baby for 9 days straight after the birth because somebody on her ward had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. Moments you'll never get back, but they're pissing it up in
loving it.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
But you didn't know the rules, Boris. Okay.
Yeah, but you made the rules.
Yeah, but you made the rules. But you didn't know them.
It's what I'm saying. You're chucking out £10,000 fines for people doing illegal raves and stuff. stuff, which it's wrong, by the way. But you're doing it as well.
Uni student, for example, had a house party for his birthday. He got kicked out of uni. Wow. Lost everything, all because of a party. Whereas Mr. Boris gets to keep his job like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, and pay a £50 fine.
This kid's whole life has been completely changed.
And that the debt he's accrued from being a student, he still has to pay that motherfucker, innit?
And also those two students that organised a snowball fight got fined £10,000.
Yeah,
it's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah,
for a snowball fight.
Yeah. Snowball fight.
It's outside. It's insane. It's
they were outside. It wasn't even.
I think he's got 3+ years. If he stays the full term, he can't. It's a 5-year term every time, isn't it? So it's like he's got 3 years. I would say 3 years now.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? Like it just doesn't make sense.
Do you know what? It just brings me back to just realizing how successive governments, not just this government, successive governments have lied to us, just pulled a wall over our eyes. You know, they're not for society, they're for themselves.
Yeah, of course.
And I believe the wrong MPs are in power, because don't get me wrong, there are members of Parliament that are out there that do great stuff. And they're out there for their community, but they just hit a glass ceiling, because I believe that there's that level, and then there's the transition to the world politics.
So
like
if you don't toe the line,
politics, Putin politics, it gets a little bit murky.
Do you know David Amos, the one that got? I knew him
David
personally, and obviously absolutely shocked. But he was one of those that just a real
MPs, good,
just a genuine, honest guy that everyone loved, and we need more of those. And there are a lot out there that are genuine.
Yeah, and across all parties as well.
And I believe that those people have a moral compass.
Yeah.
When you start going into that ministerial level of stuff, your moral compass can be a little bit skewed.
Very blurred.
Yeah. You know, because then you start having to shake hands and rub shoulders with some dodgy people. You know, in politics and in business and stuff. You know, you've got these business leaders that are multi-billion-pound conglomerates. You know, if you want us to have an office here, then you need to do this for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, isn't it? With things like Matt Hancock having shares in businesses that he didn't know he had, and getting all the contracts and things.
I thought about PPE and all that.
Oh my gosh, like you look into it, how many people and MPs and things have got these contracts or win these contracts to friends or family, and
or get rid of either a company takeover, blah blah blah, and then they just basically do their share thing. So when it gets floated in the stock exchange, which is insider trading.
Yeah, that's right.
But then I do that, you do that, we get locked up.
So it's so difficult for the average individual to just to cope with this stuff. This is all the stuff that we're dealing with. You know, like certain people that get into it, or I wouldn't want to say more intelligent people, but when you start looking into what we're dealing with, you know, and like the governments and stuff like that, that's why I'm always family first. Family first.
I feel a lot of people don't want to look into it though, but a lot of people rather be just blind to it and just go along and happily kind of be in a little bubble and not really want to know the dirty what's going on. You know?
Well, certain times you need to know.
Oh,
you do
for
need
me,
to know
I
to
have
be
to
able
know,
to
like
combat what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, you need to know that everything's a rinse. You know, we was talking downstairs and you're saying, soon they'll charge us for air.
Probably true.
And they're
doing it already.
Yeah, clean air zones.
Clean air zones.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, technically we are being charged, you know, with clean air zones and congestion charges. And
sugar charge.
Yeah, sugar charge and all this different charge. Don't park there or we'll charge you this. And
I feel like there's big change coming in the world, like big, that people don't even see it coming unless you're prepared, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, it's gonna get sticky for some people, but what I would say is have faith.
Yeah.
I'm a man of faith.
So am I. Born again Christian here.
I'm a believer, you know, and have faith. If we look, you know, like it says it in the Bible, you know, plagues and wars
So when times, mate.
And at the end of time, and look what's just happened. We've just come out of a plague, and now there's a war.
Typical, isn't it?
Slowly, surely, those prophecies are coming to light. They are.
The prophecies are coming to light, and the chickens will come home to roost, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just protect yourself and your family, man, and stay spiritual in this war, man.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be a spiritual war coming.
Definitely.
That's what
I truly believe as well. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Let's go into something that's very close to your heart on a personal level, Omar. It's I think it's close to lots of people's heart, but it's to do with rehab, relapse. Where we're going with that, the things that are out there to help people into that situation at the moment. It's up to you to indulge in your own personal story as far as you want to go to. But I think from outside looking in, it's like a hopeful one because you're here sitting there having a chat.
100%. I'm grateful for the people that I've engaged with. It's helped me get to this stage, and it's a constant thing. It's a daily reprieve, isn't it? Listen, it's common knowledge. I've made a film about it called Moment of Clarity of what my life used to be like. Yeah. What I did and what my life is like now. And I came from a great family, so it's not the fact that, this thing of addiction and mental health issues, it can happen to anyone. You don't have to come from a deprived family or, an abusive family or, because I came from a really good family. My dad was a lawyer. My mum was a teacher. Typical Niger.
Niger with the carry last.
You are going to be a doctor.
I've told you.
Take
it or leave it.
Doctor. Look at your cousin. He's going to university. But growing up, I just wasn't. Society and my head just wasn't quite right. One thing led to another, and it wasn't my youth wasn't a pretty one, subsequently, substance abuse, ended up in and out of prison and stuff, and then
how hard was the substance though? How we go?
We're going Class A.
Okay,
we're going Class A on
all sorts
on those substances. Then when I was away, I met someone. Well, they actually came in and they started talking about how their life was through recovery. And this guy, because before I tried, people tried to engage with me, and these were just people that would sit across the side of a desk in a suit and go, "You must not do this, you very bad boy." I know I shouldn't be doing it, but where's the help to kind of, and then this guy, nutter, he used to run up and down the Old Kent Road with a machete. Really crazy. But he turned his life around and then came in and done a speech, and I was like, yes, I want to do that.
He gets me.
He gets me. I get him, and there was no judgment. I could just relate to that story. And then just started following his path within recovery and went through the program. And then, listen, I haven't looked back. My life has just been so amazing, and I still engage with people within that, within recovery, and engage with people that are doing positive stuff, not only for the addiction side of it, but also for what I realised it was I suffered with a dis-ease of myself. So mentally, I think it's key for whatever you're suffering with is to engage with people that can help you through that. Because if you're anything like me, you'd be suffering in hell.
Silence, hell.
Suffering in hell. Actually, it wasn't even in silence because everyone knew that I wasn't right at the time. But since I've started engaging with those people and those organisations, life is just amazing.
What was the? First of all, let me get a clap effects for that. What was the turning point for you? Because everyone's got a turning point.
My moment of clarity.
There you go.
I tell you what my moment of clarity was, is I got arrested for something quite serious. And I was in the police station and I'd been up for a few days and I'd woken up in the police cell. And the police cell door was open.
Wow. On purpose, you reckon?
Apparently, I was mumbling some madness to the sergeant. They thought, we need to keep an eye on this guy.
Africans call that Holy Spirit, bro.
I was speaking in tongues.
Tongues.
Yeah, I was speaking in tongues. And the door was open.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. I've spent subsequent times in police stations. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
The door being open. And it was that moment then I thought, even though you're incarcerated, you can be free. And that was it. You know?
Wow.
And all praises to the Most High. From I accepted that in my life, certain things started coming into place.
The universe started working in a positive way.
And it just started working in a positive way, and I just started following it, and I let go and I let God, and realizing that if I get once I start thinking my own thoughts, I'll get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
If I think the righteous and conscious way, let go and let God,
yeah,
I'm in a better state.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I don't live a Zen life. Yeah, I fall short every single day. As I was saying to you previously, I try and be a better man today
than I was yesterday.
Yeah. And that is it. And just keep on going and have the faith that it's going to be okay. And just surround yourself with positive people. That's all it is for me. And that's how I try and keep it, I was told a long time ago, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I try to keep it as simple as possible. Not try and complicate anything, because once I start complicating it, it kind of wobbles.
Yeah.
So as long as I stay true to what I need to stay true to, everything's okay.
And so you've thankfully you've got to that bit. You have the moment of clarity, right? Now you need to start seeing what avenues are there for you to help you achieve your optimum self in a positive way.
Yeah.
Was that easy to find? Were they always there? Were there roadblocks or?
No, it wasn't easy to find, because again, I always wanted to challenge or sabotage my own well-being. So it wasn't easy, I used to sit in groups in the beginning, and they used to go, okay, Omar, how do you feel? I feel with my fucking hands. How do you feel? Yeah. And that's how I was for a long time. I was a saboteur of everything. I used to be the guy that I'd see a flower and go, that's too pretty, rip it out. But now I see the beauty in life.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
I didn't know what emotions were back then. I had no idea that, I feel sad, or, I feel indifferent, or, I feel indecisive, or I feel excited. Everything was one emotion.
Yeah.
Anger.
Just flatline. Flatline.
Yeah. I'm angry with the world and it's your fault.
Yeah.
Not being able to take responsibility for oneself.
Yeah.
And that's key.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take responsibility.
Amen to that.
For your actions, and put one foot in front of the other to try and be a better person
than
I was yesterday.
I mean, I know obviously we've spoken before. I know obviously getting to where you are now, amen to that.
And long may it continue.
Exactly. You also paying it forward as well. Yeah. I've done my bit. I've got to a nice place in life now, and I'm not saying, people have the right to do whatever they need to do, but you haven't just rested on that and said, I'm good now.
No,
you're paying it forward now and literally using yourself as an example to motivate other people, to help other people. Give us a little bit of that as well, and what you've been doing as well, just to give people hope, give that positivity thing going as well.
Well, that's my thing. When I first came down to Bournemouth, we're talking 17 years ago. I eventually got involved with working with the youth offending team, Liverpool youth offending team, which was such a great job. You know, these kids, they kept me young.
Yeah.
You know, so they used to thank me for stuff that I've done for them. I was like,
Yeah.
no, thank you for the stuff that you've done for me. You keep me young. You know, and it's all about giving back. It's so cliche. There's a phrase, you know, the only way we can keep what we have is by giving it back and giving it away. And that is so true. You know, engaging with the youth services at the moment. I'm getting involved with the Bournemouth youth football team.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
and trying to put something together with them for kids that are being challenged and being kicked out of school, and trying to put an educational element to the football academy. So it's stuff like that that just keeps me engaged, keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, yeah. You're helping them, helping yourself.
Yeah. So it's a kind of, is it symbiotic?
Yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Hey, it's big word day today.
I
can't even say non-negotiables.
Word of the day is symbiotic. But, you know, I recommend that to anyone that's, you know, in the early stages of going through what they're going through. You know, stick with the winners. It's tough. Nobody said it's going to be easy, but trust me, it is worth every single minute.
Yeah, you know, it's not the amount of times you fall down; it's the amount of times you get back up.
Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
That's the key, isn't it?
You know, that's the key. You know, that's the one, brother.
And how did you go back a bit when you were going through hell?
Yeah.
Because nobody really looks at the parent side, isn't it? So were you cognizant enough to know what your parents are going through at the time?
No, because
have you guys actually ever spoken about it after that?
Yeah. I'll give you a funny story. At the time, you don't think about that because you're self-centered, self-absorbed, selfish, all the selves.
Isn't it?
You do not think about that at all because it's all about me.
Yeah.
You don't understand. It's all about me. And I remember going through what I had to go through, my moment of clarity coming out the other end. You know, and I got really huggy. I was hugging everyone and peace and love. And I remember
You didn't do that for the last 2 years, bro.
I remember with the first time with my dad, because, you know, African parents and stuff like that.
I love you, Dad. Okay.
I remember the first time I hugged my dad coming out of it, like the look on his face, like he was like stiff as a board. I was like, "Oh, Dad, yeah, I love you, Dad. Saying thank you, still like you know, putting up with me and you know, showing me the right way and stuff like that." And I was hugging him for about 10 minutes, right? And he's like that. The cameras again. As stiff as a board, like, I'm like, Dad, thank you, and I know I put you through a lot and stuff, and he's just like, just hurry up and stop hugging. Eventually, I got him to see my way. Because every day he's like, hug, and he's like, okay. I can see the changes in you. And that was, do you know what? That was worth £1 trillion.
Yeah.
For when much, you know, because unfortunately my mum never got to see that, but like my dad, do you know what I mean? I can see the changes in you. You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Big up the parents, man.
Big up the parents.
Big up the parents, man.
Love them to bits, man. You got to.
There's a couple of things you wanted to speak up on.
Yeah.
You don't like calling it step parenting. You said step up parenting.
Yeah.
Right. And we got 5, right? Yeah. So why the name step up parenting? And let's talk about that side in your personal side as well.
I like to call it step up parenting because I don't even like to call myself a step parent. Yeah, because
it's a parent full stop.
I'm a parent full stop, but the kind
doesn't have to be by blood. It's about a feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, the kind of strap line is step up parenting because sometimes we do have to step up as a parent.
Yeah,
you know, we never had that whole 9 months to kind of get our heads around it, you know, and organise and nappies and this, and even though when I'm when I met my partner, my daughter was already, she's 13, so she was kind of half grown, but she was in that adolescent stage. So that's a really,
I got one of those,
and it's a crucial part.
Yeah, it's
life,
you know, 14 to 13, 14, 15, 16 period. That's the tough period, isn't it?
I got 3 in that age.
Yeah.
So from working in youth services, I can tell you that is a critical age, you know, and you know, it was coming in straight off the bat. You know, I met my partner. She had a 13-year-old daughter, and it was like, okay, I love my partner enough, you know, and there'll be no animosity with regards to her daughter. I love my daughter as much as I love my missus. You know, even sometimes I love my daughter more because my missus can pee me off. But my daughter's a good girl. You know? I need to. You know what? I'm really proud of her. I've got to say it.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
I'm really, really proud of you, Maya. Do you know what I mean?
Big up, Maya.
Because
big up, Maya.
You know, I've worked in youth services, and unfortunately, I can see like the stress that some parents can go through with their children. I think I'm a lucky one. Touch wood. She might be a late starter. By the time she gets to 25, she comes in with the bottles of drink, you know, big old biff hanging out. But yeah, I don't have to stress too much about her. You know, we have our arguments and our disagreements, but to all intents and purposes, she's doing the right thing. Yeah. You know,
is this your daughter or your missus's daughter?
My daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter.
Correct.
So, I mean, she'll always be my daughter. She'll always be my little
being
girl.
that when you and the missus got together, she's already 13. She's still young, but old enough to realize and know stuff, right? Did you find that hard? As in, because sometimes, and the reason I'm asking that, because sometimes you have a scenario where you get into a relationship with someone, male or female, and they have a kid, and a grown-ish kid. Yeah. Because that male or female you've got with their child, it's been their own little bubble for a long time. So you now the third wheel.
I know, yeah.
And you, with whatever situation those two already had, the child especially sees you as the intruder into this safe space they've built for themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Did you get, obviously it's not now, in the beginning stages, did you get that, the rudeness, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do?
No. Do you know what? To be fair, I didn't, but, you know, you can sense that, like, who's this guy? You know? So my priority with regards to Maya was making sure that she felt safe and she felt comfortable with me coming into her life, because I'm encroaching on your territory now. Yeah. You know, I'm with your mum, you know, so obviously as you know, I would expect you as your mum's child to be defensive of her. Yeah. So my job, at the time, was right. I need to make you feel safe enough that, you know, you're part and parcel of my family. I love you enough. I love you just as much as I love your mum. Do you know what I mean? You know, you're my daughter. You're with me. And also as well, it was a crucial time. 13 coming into someone's life, you know, and that influence that you have over them. And yeah, my focus was just trying to be a positive role model, no matter how difficult it was. Even if she was, luckily she didn't, but even if she was stroppy, you know, I always had it in the back of my head, right, you're gonna have to see through that. That's understandable. Yeah. You know, and that's a lot of things that as a coming into a relationship with someone that's already had children, you need to be aware of. You know, they can be protective of their mother or father, and there might be
a big change, isn't it? To suddenly have a brand new person in the mix.
I'm saying a massive change, and you know, and testament to Maya's mum as well. She didn't make Maya feel like, because you know you know, there are some relationships that I know of that where the woman's met the man and forgotten about the kid. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You know, so but for both of us, it was really important that Maya was, you know, paramount. You know, we know our feelings about each other, but we need
put her at the centre.
We need to put her at the centre. You know, we're not going anywhere, and that was really important for me. And I think that should be important for for anyone that's going into relationships with someone that's got children,
Yeah.
you know, that we need to understand that that child automatically becomes your child, and you need to treat them accordingly.
Yeah.
There's no, you know, you can't be complaining about, oh, well, they're rude and they're this, if you're not prepared to put the time in, you know, and explain to them, I'm not a threat, I'm here for you, and I love you just as much as I'll love your mum or your dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Did
mean?
you find it hard to kind of come in and be that kind of dad and discipline, not being your child, or did you kind of step into like dad's shoes straight away?
As a Nigerian,
No, I did not.
we would discipline any child. As a Nigerian, it is our right to discipline any child. So, I didn't find it difficult, but sometimes I do the cop out thing and go, babe, you better talk to Maya because she's done this.
Right, we need to. Omar's definitely coming back again.
I'll be back.
There's so much to talk
You
about.
seen that film?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah. See, it's first of all, I want to say thanks to everyone that's actually given us good reviews from the episodes we've released out so far. It's been absolutely humbling. It's still a learning process for us. We've never done podding, and it's. I mean, in Tessa's case, our first time today.
First one today.
So we want to keep improving. If you have suggestions, send it to our socials, the Gideon Stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, at DJ Busy or at Fuzzy Kiwi Media or Omar goodness underscore
That's the one.
Omar underscore
That's
or at the
one.
business. We'll keep improving. We keep having more guests come in.
Listen,
We've been lucky so far.
I just want to say thank you, B. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, thank you for inviting me and getting me involved in some exciting stuff. You know, thank you for allowing us to do your show, your first ever show.
First
did-
two.
Yeah, the first two.
Yeah,
We didn't
or was it
touch
the
on that.
three? Two, first
Two,
two.
yeah, the
but
first
you're coming
two.
back again, bro.
I'll
Don't
be
worry.
back, you
Yeah.
know, and like long may it continue with what you're doing. You know,
We're trying, man.
Funny
We're trying.
business. Yeah, and hilarious organisation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's get involved. Let's get it on and let's get our laughs in.
Yes.
Yay!